about to be extremely vulnerable because this might help someone. I've never been this vulnerable online in like ever, okay? I believe you are as sick as your secrets, and saying things out loud helps free you. So my parents were married, and then they had me. I guess their marriage was difficult, so they later got divorced. I don't know why, I don't know the details. All I know is that they separated, so I used to be with my mother 1 week, and then I'll go be with my father the next week, okay? So back and forth. 1 week, my dad never showed up to come and pick me up. I sat by the door, literally waiting and waiting. He never showed up. The following week, I did the same thing. I did this for months, okay? He never came. So I felt so rejected, okay? I still quite literally turn into that little girl when I talk about it. It has changed the trajectory of my life, okay? So I didn't find out until literally recently as an adult that my father did not abandon me. My mother cut him off because she was afraid that he was going to take me from her. So I literally had to grow up without a father, thinking that my father didn't love me. So I would go on dating these men who were amazing to me. I've had wonderful relationships, and I would literally feel like the love was never enough because my father didn't love me. How could another man love me? So it just fucked me up, okay, like for good. So this is why I chose the man that I chose to have a baby with. Like everything truly makes sense. And my grandmother tells me this, and I was angry at my mom. Angry, okay? Because how dare you be that fucking selfish and not think of me? You don't think I wanted to have my father? I've forgiven her, and I've made peace with it. But that's why I feel so strongly about cutting parents or cutting the other person off. You don't get to fucking do that. You don't, okay? Because like I said, it scarred me. And now my father is dead. And it haunts me for the rest of my life. Because I literally grew up thinking he didn't want me. That wasn't the case. He was coming. They were returning him. And I was sitting there by that door waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And he never showed up. And I hope this brings me some type of closure. Because it literally eats at me all the time, still to this day.
I'm sorry.
I'm about to be
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Oof, that was a lot.
Women, we gotta who do we blame?
Wait, because
I don't understand.
Hold on, we don't know who the dad is. We don't know his history. We don't know what mom was protecting the daughter from.
No. I don't agree with that. Let me tell you, you have a point where we don't know what dad was, into, blah, 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 who dad was, yes. But let me tell you, if there was something sinister happening, they are not in Nigeria. They're in a civilized society. Mom would have filed a report. Okay. Mom would have, maybe there would have been a restraining order, there would have been, from what she's saying, there was nothing like that. He was coming, right? And they were turning him back. So they were keeping him from
away from her on purpose.
On purpose, from seeing his daughter.
That's nasty.
Right? Because I don't know how many times we're going to say this, that multiple truths can exist.
Yes.
The man can be a horrible husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever. A cheat, a liar, whatever, but he could be the best dad in the world. Look at how the trajectory of her life changed.
Has gone. Like she's
for that
raw.
Yeah, from that singular act of not having a present father in her life, affecting her relationships, all those things, the trauma that she's carried for years. She's not a young girl. No. This lady's probably maybe in her 30s or early 40s or something. And it shaped her relationships. It shaped who she had a child with. It shaped generational trauma.
Yeah, no, women can be very self-centered in that sense, especially when there's a nasty breakup or a nasty divorce. We tend to use kids as tools in such situation. But like I said, there are situations that would require, I'm putting myself in a mom's shoe, where I would say, dead or alive, you're not seeing her.
Yep.
There's situations like that, and I wish we knew more. But
I think the mom would have stood how, because she said
I don't think there are moms that wouldn't.
Then that's too traumatic. No, because some
things are just too heavy for children.
She's not a child anymore.
Yes, I don't know if she didn't mention the mom's still alive.
Yeah, because she said that she's forgiving her mom and she has made peace with it.
Yeah, so maybe she's passed.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like the mom.
An adult conversation.
It doesn't sound like the mom has passed from what.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Or she's cut her off. I don't know. Whatever the case is, but if she's alive, I would be requesting answers as soon as I have sense. I don't even need to wait to this point. Maybe uni stage or late secondary school even. What's happening here? Where's daddy? I'm grown now to understand what the problem is. And you can decorate it however you want. But please say the truth. Like, there are women that will say, you don't buy. There are women that will lie and say, he abandoned us. Maybe he didn't. But hold your parents accountable and say, I want the truth. Tell me why daddy is not around. And if for some reason she's still lying, then that's where I would be cutting that woman off.
Right.
Because you are deliberately denying me of a father.
Right. Because did you hear the pain in her voice? It sounds like there was no legit, like she has done her investigation, she has checked, she has done, because she said she literally grew up thinking her father hated her, abandoned her, did not want anything to do with her, like this and that, her self-worth. So there was no man on earth that could fulfill her self-worth because her own father, I mean, if my own father did not, if he did not see me as anything, then which man wants to, do you get? So I think that it got to a point where that is where her pain is that there was nothing. If there was even something
to say he's a bad man.
That he's a bad man, at least let it still be tangible. And do you know that there are still some children that even when it has been proven that their parents were horrible people, blah, 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 when they were kids, they get to adulthood and they're still willing to.
Oh, it's like the story we read last week, or the video we watched that she wants her dad to walk her down the aisle.
They're still willing to. They don't care. They're like, that happened in your time.
You and your husband.
Please, I want to have a relationship with the man. Let me know. And the man sometimes the men turn a corner.
And they, with age and
maturity,
yes,
and they do better, and then they start to try to make amends for some of those things, right? So no, we need to stop this thing, women.
Yeah,
we need to, especially when and you were saying this, right? Where if the breakup was bad and things like that, a lot of times if maybe the man moves on, he has another woman, they will not like, oh yeah, come and see your picking. I see. They will now use that one.
Yeah, women do that.
You are not the child. You are doing that child a disservice.
You always have to think about the kid first. Oh my God, there are things that I do that sometimes me and my husband were not in talking terms.
No matter now. Unless you know they married.
Yeah, we're beefing about something silly, but. The kid wants to have the both of you at the same time.
Yes.
Maybe there's a movie we need to watch, or there's a story book we need to
it
down there.
That's it.
You must sit down there because I don't like you right now, but this babe says she wants us to sit down. We go sit down.
Let's do it.
We go sit down. It's not always easy, and that's small scale. I get it. Bigger stuff like that is, and that's the calling of motherhood. Sorry. It is a higher calling than us as individuals. We have to be able to put ourselves aside. I know that we're all Gen Z moms now. We're all like, oh, we need to be take care of yourself and everything. At the end of the day, do that, but you must still put the child first because you're not thinking about now, you're thinking about tomorrow. The choices they will make, because statistics, not the me talk, statistics says a kid that comes from a home with two parents, a kid that comes from a home with a single parent, and even if it's a home with a single parent, as long as the other person is involved, they still turn out great.
Yeah, they do.
You can be living separately, but as long as both of you are co-parenting with wisdom and maturity, that child does not have an excuse. They will turn out fine. Even if there's step siblings that they adopt along the way, everybody will get along.
I mean, and their parents, because you see some people that will come in, the naysayers, the outlier, they'll use outlier situations and say, oh, they are single parent households and the kids are not. We know that, but just saying on a larger scale.
Statistically, not me talker.
Yes, that's it, right? So to kind of wrap things up, what I would suggest and what I would recommend, if this lady had come to see me privately, for example, what I recommend because there's certain situations where you find out the truth, but you can't have closure because that person is not there anymore. But there are ways people have done this that helps. May not be the full thing because we can't bring him back to life. But there are things where people can do where they can honor his memory by maybe going to his graveside, doing certain kind of rituals, like maybe on his birthday, maybe like reading a story to him. People have done that. It helps. It does help.
Because I feel like she's mourning what could have been.
That is it. But like if you are in that, if she could get something like maybe a favorite shirt that he had, something that belonged to him, maybe like a lock of his hair that she can hold, those things help to bridge that gap. When
she feels like he's still here.
Yes, where you feel like you don't have any, this person is no longer with us. These things do happen. There are people where they weren't able to be at the funeral for some reason or the other. They didn't even know, they didn't find the person's body and all. They've reburied those people again with items that they've had. And it has helped. So these are like real life situations from people, that people have done that they've said that has helped. It will never be the same, but it's something at least that you would have. And now that you have a child, because it sounds like she has a child, you can talk to the child about her trauma and little things that you know about him to keep his memory alive.
Absolutely, because I like that you're aware of why your relationship with men is the way it is. Hopefully that kind of shapes how you move forward, and you can now coach your daughter on how to avoid those mistakes as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this was heavy. Sorry.
Yeah, love and light too.
Light and lots of healing.
Yeah. Okay. God, I beg. Bye.